This is TWiT.
Microsoft announced this week that they're adding AI-powered shopping features to Bing and the Edge web browser, specifically, AI-powered shopping features, so specifically AI-generated buying guides across both, review summaries, which I think everyone's doing these days, and then a new price match feature, which is specific to the U.S.
I wonder if it'll look different at all.
I wonder if it'll recommend a bunch of Microsoft products.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I wonder all kinds of things. Is this really AI? Is this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, if AI could make recommendation engines better, that would be a huge victory because they're terrible.
Yeah. I mean, on some level, assuming the reviews that are out there are real to start with, summarizing them is not a horrible idea.
No, that
Google
AI
Maps
would be good
does
at that.
this already. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but it's fine. It's in for whatever it's worth. I'm not an Edge fan. I hope I've made that clear. But among the few things that people do cite when they want to use Edge, the shopping stuff is actually one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of shopping features in the browser already. Like this is just an augmentation of what they already have. Coupons, cashback, price history, etc. It's funny because I only sort of use this when I'm writing the book or updating the book, and so the 3 times I've had to update this chapter so far, write or update, I get completely different results every time. It's which is kind of a problem. You're like, I know this example showed me price history, so I'll go to this exact thing, and different. Now it doesn't. Yeah. It's a little annoying, but
I don't know how you write a book about Windows these days. It's just a moving target. It's crazy.
It's right. It's like writing a book about Jell-O. It just you touch it and it changes. I don't know. It's confusing. It's hard. So anyway, that's happening. I don't think that's a big deal, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with this. Is fine. These are just basic functional.
You know what people are making a big deal about, which is hysterical, is Google saying, "Oh, we're going to scrape the internet for our AI, everything public is fair game."
Right.
Well, duh.
And I was going to say, if you follow Google at all, your response to that should be right.
Yeah.
So
of course.
Look, how did you think search engines work?
Yeah. So the thing I will give Google some credit for, and I think even if you're super cynical about Google, which maybe you should be, they actually document the changes to their privacy policy when they make the changes. So there's a version of the privacy policy that actually has markup in it showing you what they added or removed. So you can actually go and look at what they did.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Here.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really well done.
It's a little diff.
Yeah, it's nice. And I think that's a nice bit of transparency. It's I don't know if they're required to do it. I've never seen anyone do that before. I think it's pretty cool. Anyhow, not surprisingly, now that they have Bard and other AI products coming, they're just kind of augmenting the sentences they already have in the privacy policy to note that they're going to use publicly available information to help train this stuff. And it kind of says explicitly, if your business's information appears on a website, we may index and display it on Google services. Yeah, that's what's gotten you in trouble in Europe, by the way. But yes, this is right. The problem that news publishers have the world around is that you're scraping their data and not paying them enough or not paying them at all in many cases.
I guess the difference, look, any search engine does that. Bing has to look at all the contents of every page that's publicly available in order to produce their search results, just like Google. I guess the difference is but then it's going to take what it's learned from these sites and regurgitate it in some...
The difference is theft, right? So in other words, Google can make... Google can make a pretty good argument right now, and they do, that when they link to something that's online, that's information, it's almost like a compliment. We've decided that you're a good source of information. Of course, we want to link to that. And when people click on it, they go to your website. So what's the problem? The thing with AI is that it's going to do the same scraping, but it's going to collect that data. It's going to, contort it with other data, and then it's going to regurgitate something out that will appear to be a unique, wholly created thing, when in fact, a lot of it might have been based on content that someone else created.
And this is the whole issue of copyright and AI. That's also what humans do. It's transformative, and I think most of there's no such thing as new music, but you take things that have come before. And as long as it's transformative, as long as it's not a copy of it.
Well, Ed Sheeran appreciats your argument there, Leo, but I got to say, Ed Sheeran is not making billions and billions of dollars. He did win, that's true, off of advertising, which is gross,
But
at least he's making a creative.
And this is, I mean, there are a number of copyright AI cases.
Yeah.
In progress right now, but most people, most attorneys agree that I've talked to, it's going to be a hard thing to prove because it's transformative. It's what humans do. They read stuff, they look at art, and then they create their own.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if 2023 is going to be the year of the scrape between different, Reddit and Twitter charging for APIs. Like everybody's scraping on.
And no, we're not using that as the title for the show. I just want to stop that right now.
Oh no, I'm writing it down.
The year of the scrape is great. It should be shudder-inducing. Let's call it pap schmear.
But you're right. That's why we were talking earlier, Richard, before you arrived, about the shenanigans going on at Twitter over the weekend. And that's, I don't know if I believe him, but that's Elon's excuse for those rate limits on Twitter is because people have been scraping
Did he use the word
Twitter.
Shenanigans?
I use the word shenanigans.
Oh, I see. That would have been funny if he actually described himself that way.
No.
It always starts with jacking up the rates on the API or limiting access to the API. And it's like, well, if you're going to limit our access, then there's other ways for us to collect your data.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And don't threaten us because we'll use them.
I guess Google, I know Google searches Mastodon. I presume it searches Twitter, right? You could do a Google search and you'll see. I wonder how this is very
clear if it is on a public-facing website.
Right.
It is fair game for Google.
But that's kind of what Elon's done, is made this less of a public-facing website, right? That's an interesting question.
That's true. Although he started scaling that, but I don't know if you followed today's news, but
oh no, I haven't seen the latest.
That's been scaled back a little bit.
Yeah, because it broke Twitter.
Yeah. So they had removed the ability for a non-account holder to view tweets.
Right.
It's just crazy. I'm sure everyone, my website, we had a Twitter feed on the side, and we had to get rid of it because no data was coming through.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what Google does. Google doesn't log into Twitter before it spiders it, but it's not going to be able to.
Oh, they're smart. They probably log in as Elon Musk. And then
Wow.
I don't know.
Because he uses the same password everywhere.
Exactly. It's amazing. That's the same password I have in my luggage.
0000.
Nobody told me my butt looks so big. Anyway,
I thought there was supposed to be a new CEO to Twitter, and he was going to build rockets.
Is really just running ad sales, Linda Yaccarino.
Right.
Elon is clearly in charge of everything else, and probably that too. You wouldn't ever want to work under immediately.
Go work on your rocket.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be Elon's boss at anything because he would just go,
Elon's boss. He's unmanageable.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's just Twitter's just an Elon are the gift that keeps on giving. But I think people are done with it, so we'll stop.
Yeah.
We'll stop talking. Google's privacy policy, I guess we'll talk about on This Week in Google. Okay, fine. It does seem like kind of...
I'm sure you'll have to.
Yeah, we will. We'll debate it.
You have to.
Listeners of this program get an ad-free version if they're members of Club TWiT. $7 a month gives you ad-free versions of all of our shows, plus membership in the Club TWiT Discord, a great clubhouse for TWiT listeners. And finally, the TWiT Plus feed, with shows like Stacy's Book Club, The Untitled Linux Show, The Giz Fizz, and more. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit, and thanks for your support.